Hi everyone. Today I will be talking about a very serious topic, one that many of us know. I know this can be a tough topic for many of us. So, for those who are grieving, I'll try to be as respectful as possible. I've heard from a close friend of mine that grief can be a gift. It might not be one we would want, but it keeps us honest. It allows us to lament to God in our own time of need. It can allow us to even go closer to God in our time of need because God does understand your pain. Take Matthew 14, verse 13, for example. As soon as Jesus heard that John the Baptist, who was his cousin, was beheaded, he left in a boat in a remote area to be alone. So Jesus knew what it's like to want to isolate yourself. And in John 11, he wept for Lazarus. But even though he knew what the Father's plan was for Lazarus, and even though he knew where John was going after he passed, death can still be crushing for him, like it can be for all of us. And I know you have questions, and you might be asking yourself the question of why this terrible thing has happened that has affected your life, and why terrible things happen to the ones we love. And it might feel too much for you, but please stay with God, where you might not understand in time. You might not even ever understand, but God loves you, and God will comfort you. In Matthew 5, verse 4, Jesus, with his Sermon on the Mount, says, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." So if there's anyone there who wants to help someone in mourning, if they do allow you to help them, I encourage you to mourn with them. Be by their side, especially if you can relate to the situation they're in. Or sit next to them in silence, like Job's friends did in Job 2, verse 13. For those who are in mourning, I am sorry for your loss. I can understand how painful it is to lose someone, as I lost some family members, some friends, and even losing a pet can be really difficult. I'm not going to pretend to know what you're thinking, but there have been times when I was troubled and I've questioned God on many things. And even with Job was a man who never cursed God, but even he had some questions. Although the way God answered him was probably something that he did not expect, still, it did help Job in the end. And if you still want to go to God, come as you are. You don't have to be even as loyal as Job. I'm not saying cursing him out is a good thing, but God is willing to help you in your time of need, regardless of how you feel. So please, I encourage anyone who's grieving, when you are ready, please go to God. And also, find ways to help you through your grief, healthy ways, such as therapy, maybe writing a journal, or even allowing your friends and family to help you. And if that doesn't help, maybe it can be a good thing for you to isolate yourself and clear your mind off of things, just as Jesus did for John the Baptist. I just want to make sure that you are okay, because it can be difficult. After this video, I'm going to pray for anyone who's grieving, especially for the people I know that are grieving right now.